Let us start with the Indian startup ecosystem. So, like the government of India, it has decided to boost up the startup ecosystem in the country. And moreover, as per the dream of our honorable Prime Minister, he is emphasizing more on creating the job creators rather than the job seekers. If we talk about the Indian ecosystem of the startup, then being the developing country, it has been observed that the probability of the survival of startups here in India and in the other developing countries is very less. So that is why the government is putting more and more emphasis on the startup, and the lucrative schemes are also given by the government of India for to reduce this rate of the early die-up of the startups. Now, if we talk about the focus areas with regard to the implementation of the Startup India for the states, union territories, which are listed below, the first is the startup policy. In year 2019, the government of India has given up one startup policy named as the National Innovation Startup Policy. And this policy was specifically formulated for the students and the faculty members. For the students, from the point of view that they can initiate any startup if they have some innovative idea in their mind, along with their studies. And for the faculty members, if any of the faculty is having any innovative idea which can be turned into a viable business, then the opportunities and the provision for the facilities which can be extended by the higher education institutions are given in this policy for that particular faculty member. Apart from giving the facilities of attendance relaxations for the students and for the faculty members for remaining absent for a few days to strengthen its startup, which is being launched through that higher education institution business incubator, the number of facilities are being given, and the provision of seed fund is also kept in this policy. And last year only, in the month of December, it is being notified to all the higher education institutions by the government of India to implement this policy and formulate their own institutional policy for the innovation and startup against this NISP, or based on the guidelines of NISP. The main points which are the main points of the focused area which are included in this policy is the simplification and hand-holding support for the startups. Then enabling the ease of registration as a startup at BIPP, enabling the ease of recognition as a startup, enabling the ease of compliances under the various laws. It also includes the facilitation of setting up of the startups. Then setting up a dedicated startup cell or the helpline, which are open 24/7, on which the aspirants or the incubatees or the different persons who are likely to come up with a viable startups, if they seek any expert advice or any advice related to the processing of the whole startup or the process related to its registration, they can have. Then setting up a dedicated portal in the mobile application for the startups only. Then the funding support, which is one of the most important support for the startups, because like a lot of things are required for a innovative idea coming into the mind and converting it into a viable business. Like if something comes in our mind, which we think that it can be beneficial for the society, then a lot of time as well as the facilities are required to convert it into a prototype, then into a viable business product, then making the business plan, then making the marketing strategies and the other things related to its commercialization and converting into it a viable business. Then funding support, undertaking initiatives to increase the access to funds for the startup, formulating a credit guarantee system, then industry academia partnership, building partnership with the industry and the educational institutions, so that the students and the faculty members who have some idea, who are likely to come up with some startup, they can have the better industrial experiences from the industry people and the guidance also. Then organizing the events or the fest and the startup fest events mainly. Then a very lucrative scheme called the Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. The basic thing which is required for any business to start is the funds. And startup, if we talk about, then startup mainly related to the students, to the faculty members, then we cannot expect that they have much funds available with them to come up with a successful business. So the government of India has launched a Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, which is proved to be very, very beneficial and will play a major role in the successful survival of the startups. So this Startup Seed Fund Scheme, which is in short called as the SISPF, it aims to provide the financial assistance to startups for proof of concept, prototype development. Prototype is the idea which innovative idea which can come in anybody's mind. It is not necessary that it will come in the mind of an engineer, doctor, or any other professional, computer professional. Even an illiterate person it can have an innovative idea. So the Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, it aims to provide financial assistance for such innovative idea which can be developed into a viable prototype. Then the product trials, market entry, and finally the commercialization. This would enable these startups to graduate to a level where they will be able to raise investment for the angel investors and the venture capitalists. Or they can also seek loan from commercial bank on any financial institutions. Now, the role of incubator in the seed fund grant. Like the startup is eligible and wishes to fetch grant under this scheme. But there will be a specific role of the incubator through which this seed fund grant can be fetched by that startup, particular startup. So the role of the incubator in this seed fund grant is that the seed fund will be dispersed to the eligible startups through the eligible incubators across the country. Now, what is the meaning of this eligible startup and the eligible incubators? In the subsequent slides, we will have a complete discussion upon these 2 points, that eligible startups and the eligible incubators, that what is the definition of the eligible startup and what is the definition of the eligible incubators. Now, the requirement of Indian startup ecosystem. What are the requirements? There are only the 2 requirements. One is the capital adequacy in the seed, and the second one is the proof of concept development stage. Both these requirements, Indian startup ecosystem is lacking. So the government is focusing upon that how to fulfill these 2 requirements to make the Indian startup ecosystem strong. And keeping in view these 2 points, this seed fund scheme has been launched by the government of India. Now, let us discuss upon the eligibility criteria for a startup to apply under the Startup India Seed Fund scheme. Just we have talked about the eligible startups and the eligible incubators. Now we will have the discussion upon the eligible startups. Like what is the eligibility criteria, and what the startup has to do to fulfill this eligibility criteria to become eligible to fetch this grant through any incubator. So the first one is a startup should have the recognition by DPIIT. This DPIIT is the Department of Promotion of Industry and the Internal Trade. A startup incorporation should be not more than 2 years ago at the time of the application. Startup must have a business idea to develop a product or a service with market fit, viable commercialization and the scope of scaling. Startup should be using the technology in its core product or service or the business model or the distribution model or methodology to solve the problem being targeted. This is also termed as the design thinking. That is, a target problem is being solved. So this is the design thinking, like the keeping in view the target problem, the solution has been formulated. Now, further, the preference would be given to the startups creating the innovative solution in the sectors such as the social impact, waste management, water management, financial inclusions, education, agriculture, food processing, biotechnology, healthcare, energy, mobility, defense, space, railways, oil, gas, textiles, etc. So these are the areas of preference. If the startup is belonging to any of these areas, then there is the more probability for that startup to get the eligibility. Then the startup should not have received more than rupees 10 lakh of monetary support under any other central or state government scheme. The shareholding by Indian promoters in the startup, it should be at least 51% at the time of the application to incubator for the scheme. So these are the various aspects which are to be fulfilled by a startup to become eligible to apply for this scheme. Now, the term which we were talking about, the eligible incubator. So what are the criteria for an incubator to be fulfilled to become eligible to promote the startup for the seed fund scheme? The first one is this: incubator must be a legal entity. That is, a society registered under Societies Registration Act 1860 or a trust registered under the Indian Trust Act 1882 or a private limited company registered under the Companies Act 1956 or the Companies Act 2013 or a statutory body created through an act of legislature are eligible to be called as eligible incubator for supporting the startup for seed fund scheme. Now, next comes the Expert Advisory Committee, that is EAC. Now, what is this EAC? What is its role in supporting the startups through the incubators for seed funding scheme? Now, this Expert Advisory Committee, it is constituted by DPIIT. This is Department for the Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. This EAC, it will be responsible for the overall execution and monitoring of the Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. That is the body which is being constituted by the government for monitoring the proper execution of the Startup Fund Scheme is EAC. EAC, it will evaluate and select the incubators for the allotment of seed funds. It will monitor their progress and take all the necessary measures for efficient utilization of the sanctioned funds towards the fulfillment of the object of Startup India Seed Fund scheme. Now let us talk about the constitution of this expert advisory committee. It comprises of a chairman. It is an individual of eminence. Then the financial advisor, it is from the side of DPIIT, or it may be his representative. Then the additional secretary, joint secretary, director, deputy secretary, DPIIT will be the convener of this EAC. Representative of the Department of Biotechnology, that is DBT, representative of DST, that is the Department of Science and Technology, then the representatives of MIT, that is Ministry of Electronics and IT, representatives of ICAR, that is the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, representatives of NITI Aayog, and at least 3 expert members nominated by the Secretary DPIIT from the startup ecosystem, investor and experts in the domain of R&D, technology development, commercialization, entrepreneurship, or any other relevant domain are the members of this EAC, that is the Expert Advisory Committee, which is responsible for declaring any incubator, an eligible incubator to promote the startup for this seed fund scheme. Now, let us talk about the eligibility of the incubator. We use the term eligible incubators. Eligible incubator means the incubator which are declared eligible by EAC for selecting the startups and for promoting those startups for the seed funds, seed fund scheme. Now, the selection of incubator, the number of criteria are there. The first criteria for deciding the eligibility is the quality of the team of the incubator. That is the what type of the members are there in the team of the incubator, and who are the people who are managing this incubator is one of the eligibility criteria. Then the infrastructure available with the incubator, testing labs or the other pre-incubation facilities which are being extended by the incubator to the incubatees. Then the composition of incubator seed management committee. That is, a committee will be constituted at the level of each of the incubator. That is called an ISME. That is the Incubator Seed Fund Management Committee. This committee will be responsible for selecting the startups and to promote the startup, to facilitate the startup for the seed funding scheme. Then the incubation support provided by the incubator to the incubatees in last 3 years, and it will be evaluated by the number of startups incubated by that particular incubator. Then the number of startups graduated, that is graduation means that any when any innovative idea enters into the journey of the startup and the point when it exits from that journey, that period between the 2 points is called the incubation period. And once the startup has taken exit from the incubator, it is called the graduated startup. That is the progress from one stage of business development cycle to the next one. Then the number of startups that raised follow on investments. Then the number of startups that crossed a revenue of rupees 1 crore in last 1 year. So these are the parameters on which the ability of the incubator which is promoting the startup is measured. That incubator should have the survival rate of 2 years of the startups which are being promoted or which are being incubated by it. Now come to criteria 2. The criteria 2 is the funding support extending to the incubatee in the last 3 years by the incubator. Now see, the function of an incubator is to incubate the innovative idea, to provide all the pre-incubation facilities so that innovative idea can be converted into a prototype. Then providing the mentoring, like mentor support in the form of designing the viable business plan, then marketing strategy, and finally the strategy for the commercialization of that prototype converted into the business product. And apart from all these facilities which are being extended by the incubator, the one and the most important facility is the funding facility. So the funding support which is extended to the incubatee in past 3 years is one of the major to decide the eligibility of the incubator, and it is decided in terms of parameters like the investment agreement signed between the incubator and the startup, number of startups invested in, total corpus allocated to the incubatee, and the total investment raised by the incubatee from the external sources. Now let us come on criteria number 3. As I have just said, it is the mentoring support which is being provided by the incubator to the incubatee in past 3 years. Like when the eligibility of any incubator is decided, its past 3 years records are seen. So the mentoring provided by the incubatee is measured in terms of parameters like the number of mentors hired, average mentoring hours allocated per startup per month, and the number of IPs, intellectual property, in the form of patents, copyrights, designs, trademarks, which are registered by the incubator. Now let us come on criteria number 4. Which includes the other supports like industry corporate connect for solving the real-time problems, then event held for stakeholder engagements and the participation in other events. So these are the facilities which an incubator is supposed to provide to its incubatee and to become eligible to promote the startups for this scheme so that they can fetch the funds and they become a successful, they can turn up into a successful enterprise. Now, the number of startups that the incubator intended to support also plays a major role in the selection of the incubator for its eligibility for seed fund scheme. Then the quantum of funds applied for along with the fund deployment plan with timeline, that how much fund is allocated for the purpose in the budget of the incubator, that also plays a major role in deciding its eligibility. And the other parameters, and the other relevant parameters are decided by EAC, that is the Expert Advisory Committee of the, which is being constituted by the government. Now, after having the discussion upon the eligibility of the startup, that which are the startups, how they can become eligible to have this facility of fetching grant under the scheme, and what is the criteria to decide the eligibility of the incubators which are supposed to support the startups for this scheme. Now see, once the eligibility of the startups are decided, once the eligibility of the incubators are decided, now the list of the incubators are made available on the portal of the government. Then from those eligible incubators, different startups applies for fetching these funds. Now the incubators, they will be having a specific selection criteria for the startup for shortlisting the startups and to facilitate those shortlisted startups for the scheme. So now comes the role of the incubator seed management committee, ISME. We have also talked about this committee in one of our previous slides. So this incubator seed management committee, its function is to select the startup which are applying for the seed fund scheme through a particular incubator. It consists of experts who can evaluate and select the startups for seed support. So let us talk about the composition of this ISME, that is the Incubator Seed Management Committee. It consists of the nominee of incubators or the chairman of the incubator, representative from the state government startup nodal team, then the representative of a venture capital fund or angel network, a domain expert from industry, a domain expert from academia, two successful entrepreneurs, and any other relevant stakeholders may be the member of this committee. Now, the startup shall be selected through the open, transparent, fair process, which is comprising inter alia. An online call for the application shall be hosted on an ongoing basis on the startup portal. Applicants can apply for seed fund to any three incubators selected as dispersing partners for the scheme in order of their preferences. All applications received will be shared online with respective incubators for further evaluation. The applicant may be asked to submit details on team profile, problem statement, product service overview, business model, customer profile, market size, quantum of funds needed, projected utilization plan for the funds, etc. The incubator should shortlist applicants as per eligibility criteria. Now let us have a brief discussion about upon the eligibility criteria, that what are the factors which play key role in deciding the eligibility of the startup by the eligible incubator for the promotion. Now the first one is that, is there a need for this idea? Mean to say, the market size, what market gap is it filling? Does it solve a real world problem? So this is one of the criteria for deciding the eligibility of the applications. Next one is the feasibility. Feasibility and the reasonability of the technical claims, methodology used to be used for the proof of concept and validation, and the roadmap for product development. That is how the phase-wise the product will be developed. Third one is the potential impact, the customer demographic and the technology effect on these national importance. Fourth one is the novelty of the idea, whether it is new or it is the application of some already existing idea. The USP of that is the USP of the technology and the associated intellectual property. Then fifth criteria or the factor is the team, that is the strength of the team. The technical and the business expertise within the team also plays a major role in deciding the eligibility or in the selection of the startup. Then sixth one is the fund utilization plan, that what roadmap for the fund utilization that particular startup has made, that if the grant will be given to that particular startup, then how it will be utilized in the proper way. That also plays a major role in the selection of the startup for the scheme. Then the additional parameters, it may be decided by the incubators, different incubators, as per their wish or as per as per the suggestion of ICFC. Now the incubator, it may shortlist the applicants based on their evaluation on the parameters which we have just discussed for a presentation before the incubator seed management committee. Then ISMC will evaluate the applicants based on their submissions and presentations, and they will select the startup for seed fund within 45 days of the receipt of the application. All incubators shall provide information about the progress of evaluation of startups real time to Startup India portal. That the selected startup shall receive the seed fund under the respective incubator that selects them as beneficiaries as per their preference shared during the application. Then EAC, it may lay down the improved guidelines for the selection of startups under the scheme from time to time, which are mandatory to be followed by all. Now, next comes the guideline for the disbursement of seed fund to startup by the incubator. That is, once the startups are selected, shortlisted, and forwarded by the eligible incubators to the government for as a beneficiary for this startup, for this seed fund scheme, then there are the guidelines for the disbursement of the seed fund to the startups by the incubator, because that fund will be allocated to the incubator and it is to be dispersed among the startups shortlisted for the purpose by the incubators only. So some guidelines are being laid under this scheme. If we talk about those guidelines, then the seed fund to an eligible startup by the incubator shall be dispersed on the basis of the following 3 points. The first one is up to 20 lakhs as grant for validation of proof of concept or prototype development or product trials. The grant shall be disbursed in milestone-based installments, and these milestones can be related to the development of the prototype, product testing, building a product ready for market launch. Second, up to 50 lakhs of investment for market entry, commercialization, or scaling up through convertible debentures or debit-linked instruments. Then the seed fund shall strictly not be utilized by the startups for creating any facility. It will be utilized for the purpose it has been granted for. This is the very important point, which is to be kept in mind while dispersing the funds. Then not more than 20% of the total grant to an incubator shall be given as grant to the startup by the incubator. The rate of interest on utilization funds available with incubator would also be taken into account and adjusted at the time of next release of the fund by DPIIT. Now, once the grant is released, it is the guidelines are released that how it is to be utilized, how the utilization is to be assured, and how the utilization roadmap is to be maintained. Then the accounting and utilization of fund comes. The incubator shall maintain an exclusive project-specific trust and the retention account with any nationalized bank. Funds under the scheme shall be released into that account in milestone-based 3 or more installments. So finally, the funds are being utilized by the startup for the purpose it was granted for. Then it is supposed that the startup will be graduated successfully from the incubator after utilizing all the facilities which are being extended to the incubatee by the incubator, and the indicators or the parameters which will decide the successful implementation of this scheme will include the progress of proof of concept, progress of prototype development, progress of product development, progress of field trials, progress of market launch, quantum of loans, angel or venture capital funding raise, jobs created by the startups, and the turnover of the startup. So this is all about that how a startup can proceed from the stage of incubation towards the stage of successful graduation and then turning into a successful business venture. Thank you.